you will certainly find progress. You'll find growth. You'll find the way we address these problems. If you look at the continued growth of our economy, we're trying to find a way that makes that growth contribute to the transformation and the well-being of people. I don't think there is any moment you'll come back here, even after 3 years or 4 or 5, you come and you find there is no program here. No. I'm sure even in the cities where you said you come from or where you are working, there are similar, yeah, but if you went to, you're employed by who? From? This is, if you go to your employees, to your employers, you and ask, you'll find they have similar programs as I have. There's not a city in the world or around, or a country where you'll not find such a programs. But you'll always find some countries or cities making more progress than others. There's no doubt. So we are only trying to make sure that we make progress, as much progress as we can. And you are talking about real estate. It's not even that. There are many more things. Hence, yes. They are very expensive for ordinary Rwandans. But at least you are aware in the last the last 15 years, we have resolved that problem for the majority of Rwandans across the country, not just Kagame. Yes. Whichever part of the corner of this country you go to, you'll find improvement for ordinary people. It's not, so be it across the country, be it in the city. So the country is growing because it is actually addressing largely that problem you've mentioned. Yes. And the economy has been growing, and the country, the population getting better for it because of those efforts. Again, as I said, if there is any moment you come and find we have no problem, or you go around and not see any problem, I'm not telling that to you. I'm not promising anything, because I know we are going to live with those problems. But doesn't this growth of the city and the country also impress you to some extent? It does. Yeah, these same people are struggling, by the way, today to find, let's say, a house. Or if you meet them maybe a year later, you'll find maybe they have made good progress. They have actually addressed the problem. It's not an easy thing, easy question to answer. But the country is growing, and it is growing, not some people growing at the expense of others. I think you'll find that growth is really more or less evenly distributed across the country, better than you'll find in any other country. I would even say that. there are problems. There are many problems to deal with. We just have to deal with them and keep going.
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from Kennedy.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mine is not really a question, but first I want to appreciate this opportunity. And Mr. President, my name is Crazy Kenna. I'm a content creator from Kenya. My main work is usually to entertain people by reflecting to them what actually happens. And I've actually done a skit regarding how Rwandan citizens relate with you as a president. After doing a lot of research, when I was walking around the city, I asked a lot of people, and they told me that we see our president as our father. I thought that was a joke until today I witnessed you solving as a case here and asking, what did he say? What did he say? So, Mr. President, your people really love you.
I'm as crazy as you are.
And lastly, Mr. President, you know, my father usually say that he believes that content can take people places. For me, I just request a selfie to go and show him that I met the president of Rwanda.
Yeah.
And
I give you two. Do I have to stand or do it? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We'll now take a question from
Good day, Your Excellency. My name is Banele Reo. I am a content creator, but more importantly, I am an entrepreneur from South Africa. I'm here today because of an invitation by ASG, and this is my second time being here in 7 months. And the reason why I'm here is because of initiatives that you are directly involved in, like the ASG co-founder. Now, my question is, there seems to be a really strong drive with your leadership in terms of entrepreneurship. So now, I'd like to know, going forward, for the youth, right, into the future, even beyond your tenure, what do you think is the priority, or what should the priority be for them? Between two things for the youth, going forward, between serving in office, serving the people in office, and entrepreneurship, or can there be a balance between the two? Because with your leadership over the years, you've shown that you serving people was the most important service that you had to do in the last 30 years. But I see a shift maybe going to entrepreneurship. Is that true?
Yeah. Actually, some people can have a better opportunity than I had of starting as entrepreneurs and ending as leaders who serve people. But beyond that, they could start with both. For me, there was no opportunity to start with both. I'd start as one, and so don't set any barriers in your mind. Just think about what you want to do, and for the young people, start with knowing and believing that you can do something. And starting from that, you can do many things. And so read correctly the opportunities before you and within you, the talent you have, and the desire you have, the energy you have. Don't waste any of those. Just use them. Let the limit to that come from somewhere else, not from you. Yes. So the young people should learn very fast. Learn at the earliest you can the world around you and the opportunities available to you, and take it when it comes. And just again, as we've talked about the mindset, you have develop a mindset where you don't complain about problems, or look up to somebody else to be the one to deal with your problem. Start with yourself. And even if that was to happen, it happens when you have started the journey yourself to do things. The other people can step in and be useful, there's no question, and many have benefited that way. But start always with yourself, the thinking at least, because that shouldn't cost much to anyone. So the young people, use your time well, and then use whatever investments that have been made in you or you have made in yourself to grow that, and also find ways of working together. One may not be enough, but two or three or more working together will always deliver something that is going to last and much bigger than what any one person can deliver to you. So we in Rwanda, we had an opportunity when we were young ourselves. So it was to begin with, very risky. So it was extremely risky, but it was tried. And those who survived, who are still living, and what they delivered and still delivering has enabled many others to, we should say the whole country, to make a big difference for themselves and for the country. So the responsibility doesn't stop anywhere. It keeps coming from one generation to another and to another and to another. So play your part within your generation. All right?
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from Lionel.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity. My name is Lionel Litevrier. I'm a writer for the Pan-African Review. My question is about Africa security, to be precise. We live in a world where a powerful actor can come and attack you without having so much as a good justification. So at the recent ISCA high-level discussions, the head of the RDF research and development said that Africa cannot remain a mere consumer of technology. And they were talking about autonomous systems, new weapons emerging. And you've talked often about self-reliance. And so I was wondering, in a sector like defense, how can we translate self-reliance into real capabilities, defense capabilities, and what can Rwanda contribute to that quest? Thank you.
Well, we are trying. I mean, the first thing is, I'm glad you had that discussion. The very fact that somebody put it forward like that within that context already shows from the thinking, practical things happen. In fact, it's not just self-reliance is in many aspects. It's not just in technology and different systems as you mentioned. Self-reliance goes into other areas, even of governance. And as you have seen in Rwanda, there are so many things we've done in areas of governance and service and delivery, and some people will wonder whether we don't even have more resources than we are known for. It's like, how does a poor country get to be here on this, on that, and so on? That is delivered actually by that mindset of self-reliance. So the self-reliance aspect of it makes, the aspect makes people, there are things I said when I was answering one of the questions. I said, do whatever you can within your means. There are people who have the means and they can't deliver on something when they have the means. In fact, some people have a lot in terms of means and they don't deliver much. So in that discussion, what was being said can be applied in defense. Another simple example, we are used to having, you have heard of peacekeepers across the world, financed by the UN, by big powers, and so on and so forth. And some security products that have to do a lot with the peace cannot be delivered because people will tell you there is no money to finance it. So we've tried to move around that and say, no, but there are some things that can be delivered even without much money by the UN or by the rich people. People know about Mozambique, or they think about Central African Republic. But I can remind you that, for example, you must have heard of a case in Sudan. Remember the conflict in Darfur. That was way back, even before we started having some of the things we have. Our forces went and served in Darfur, first under the African Union and then a hybrid African Union, UN. And do you know that for the first months, I think like 9 months, our forces went there and served without being paid anything. we were paying them from here. We were giving them their salaries, putting their salaries on their account here. They were there. And whatever they were using there, we were giving them. That was, and what was delivered in that situation was better or more than we have seen delivered by so much money poured into a situation when you were there in Darfur. So it's again a question of how do you want to approach the problem. Having independence, it doesn't matter the size. Rwanda is not by any standard a big country. We are one of the smallest countries, I think, in the world. But does that stop us looking around for what we can do and within our means and do it? Or deliver whatever we can somewhere else, first looking at what is within our means. So it's that sort of approach that must have built on during that discussion which happened recently. There is and by the way, looking at what makes you independent does not remove the fact of the need to work together. Work together, but start from a point where you people coming together, each one of you must be saying, suppose the worst comes to the worst and I'm on my own. How do I survive? How do I operate? How do I deliver to an extent whatever I need to deliver?
Thank you, Excellency. In the interest of time, may we take just one last question?
I don't know how many, can see many faces here, people. Maybe we try and shorten questions, and I also try my best to shorten my answers, and we take more people.
Thank you, sir. We'll take 2 to 3 more questions. We'll start with the center.
You've taught me to say so many things. I never used to speak like this. You made me talk and talk and talk and talk and
Muraho.
yes, Baroness.
Joel Talargi here from Ethiopia. I'm a tech content creator as well as software developer. So I'm here for the forum. Thank you for this chance, Your Excellency. So I have a very critical and short question for you regarding technology and AI for Africa. So to make it short, AI systems are learning what Africa is from data. So systems learn from data, and that data is wrote about us that we didn't write. So Africans didn't write those data that AI is learning. And we have the youngest population on Earth, which is a very big thing, and the thinnest digital footprint of our own making. So my question is, what will African governments do differently this time? Not to consume AI, but to make sure that Africans creating content, data, and stories today are the ones training how models that will define us tomorrow. Because every decision being made around the world is being influenced by AI. And AI is good if the data that it's trained on is good. If it's bad, it's going to be biased. And also AI is going to take jobs, and AI is going to affect the education, entrepreneurship, and every sector.
Right. Well, so that's a good question. But the problem doesn't start with AI. It's not, AI is something recent, right? Meaning for collecting data and not doing much with it and collecting it in Africa is something that precedes the era of AI. So, but it goes back to that question, where Africa, whether it is AI or anything else that will come in the future, and we shouldn't be taking all this long to be part of the conversation, the global conversation. How can we keep referring ourselves to, as people who are left behind, who AI comes, there's the data, it is collected from us, it is going to affect us because those who are developing systems using yes, that is a problem that has been there for, let me say, the last 100 years. We really need to change that conversation and just like in your own way, your talent, profession you're in, and so on. Many Africans have that knowledge. They have, in fact, sometimes they are the ones working for those institutions or those companies that develop AI systems. You find they're Africans. So we need to resolve a bigger problem on our continent where, yes, we need to be at the same level with the rest across the world, because we can. Why is it just a given that Africa must lag behind everybody? No. So, but what you're saying is true. But it shouldn't be that way. It's something we need to change. We're already too late in doing that. Too late. We should have done it 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even on other things, and in other areas. So the conversation around this African governance and the mindset and so on and so forth should be making a dent, at least in shaking Africa into this position where we can't keep being onlookers and just having things about ourselves being taken care of by others. Just imagine it for a moment, what that means. Why? Why should it be like this? But it's not just asking questions, you should also find answers. And the answers are in this room. They are in another room next, and another room on our continent. Yes, let's make the investments that are needed. We've already made the investment, let's say, our young people and others grown who have developed certain capabilities, they are there. And so why don't we bring our heads together and do it without waste of time?
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from Joseph.
Murakoze nyakubahwa perezida, nitwa Joseph Wakuzwumuremyi, naturutse ku kinyamakuru Umuryango TV. Ndagira ngo mbabaze ku kibazo kijyanye n'icuruzwa ry'abantu.
Short question. Ugire short duhine.
Yego cyane. Ndagira ngo mbabaze ku kibazo cy'icuruzwa ry'abantu ahanini kibasiye urubyiruko, ariko nanababwira ko kuva tariki 15 z'ukwa gatanu 2026 hari abanyarwanda bafungiye muri Madagascar. Bageze muri 5 b'urubyiruko bagiye gucuruzwayo, nyuma babafunga bashinja icyaha bakorewe ahubwo. Imiryango yabo rero basaba ubufasha, ariko hano hari n'urubyiruko rwaturutse hirya no hino muri Afurika, kandi n'icyo kibazo n'abanyarwanda bafunganyemo n'abandi bageze muri 21 bava mu bindi bihugu byo muri Afurika. Nagira ngo mugire message mutanga muri rusange.
Icuruzwa ry'abantu ni ikibazo kinini cyane kitari mu Rwanda gusa, kiri ku isi hose, cyane cyane abanyafurika. Baravuga bari Madagascar, hari abo tubona bari mu Bushinwa, hari abo tubona bava mu Buhinde, hari abo twumva bafatiwe mu bihugu byo mu Gulf region, hari abantu birirwa bafatwa, polisi n'izindi inzego in fact zirirwa ku rugamba ziba zifata baravuga abatwawe Madagascar cyangwa bariyo n'iki. Hari abo bafatirwa ku mipaka hano bafite abantu babatwaye, babambutse imipaka, babategereje hakurya, kumva ngo bamutwaye ahandi. Hashira igihe tukazabona batubwira ko hari abantu b'Abanyarwanda. Ikibazo kirakurikiranwa, tugerageza, inzego zibishinzwe z'umutekano zigerageza gukorana n'izindi nzego z'ibihugu bindi kugira ngo icyo kibazo gikemuke. Nta kindi numva nakivugaho usibye ko abo babonetse bakeneye ubufashwa bakwiriye gufashwa. Ubu ngira ngo inzego ziri hano zibishinzwe ari na Minisiteri y'Ububanyi n'Amahanga bakorana n'izindi nzego bakabikurikirana icyo cya Madagascar bakamenya uko giteye kigashakirwa umuti.
Thank you, sir. We'll take the next question from Sam.
Murakoze nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika, nitwa Sam Karenzi, ndi umunyamakuru usanzwe wibanda ku makuru y'imikino. Nyakubahwa Perezida, u Rwanda rumaze igihe rushyira ingufu mu kubaka ibikorwa remezo bya siporo, cyane cyane umupira w'amaguru. Mu minsi mike ishize amakipe yacu yaba y'igihugu ndetse n'amaklabu amaze iminsi yitwara neza. Uko mubibona football final yabiri mu murongo muyifuzamo, nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika?
Niho ko ntemeranya nawe, kwitwara neza bikiri hasi.
Nabazaga nti murabona hakorwa ikintu naho kugira ngo gume mu murongo mwiza cyangwa ikomerezeho?
Niwe nabaza naho ntabwo nagerageje ibyo nashoboye, ndafasha, ndasunika, ndagira ntariko ntabwo mbizi, nabunze icyo nafasha kindi kirenze, ariko nukomeza tukagerageza. Ariko ikibazo nitwe kirimo nk'Abanyarwanda n'abakinnyi n'abandi, ikibazo kiri muri twe, tukivanyemo byatera imbere. Uribuka mu minsi yashize najyaga mbabwira hano, ukabona abantu barakina imipira, biba n'ahandi ariko njye simvuga iby'ahandi, ndavuga hano. Abantu ugasanga n'imyifatire gusa n'imico, baragiye babwira abantu ko abatezi b'umupira bagomba kugura imisatsi bakishyira ku mutwe, cyangwa bagafata iyo ku mutwe yabo bakayiziringa ukuntu bashatse. Ibyo bikaba gukina umupira, cyangwa bikavaho bikajya mu kuraguza, bikajya mu birozi, bikajya noneho byangiza bikaba no kwiba na mikoro yarakwiye kuba arimo, ugasanga ubwo se wenda n'ahandi birahaba kandi birahaba, ariko genda avuga ibituri. Ntabwo abantu bashaka kugera kure, ugira uko wifata, ugira uko witwara, ugira uko aho uhanga amaso ukaba ariho ushyira ingufu. Ariko ibintu biri aho ntabwo, niho mbura uko nafasha. Narafashije naho nashakishaga n'amafaranga, ngafata n'umwenda nkabaha, kubera ko bije itabonetse ihagije. Ariko ukabona hari ibintu bitaza mu bantu, bakajya no mu matiku, bakajya mu bintu byo kwangana, bakajya mu ntambara no hagati y'itimu ubwayo muri imwe, cyangwa hagati y'itimu imwe n'iyindi, ugasanga niho ibintu So wagabanya ibyo byose navugaga bimwe bifite inoze tukareba neza ariko tugatangira no hasi abana bato karerwa ku buryo bazamuka umuco w'igihe cyashize cya kera asangaga umuntu umukinnyi bamuvuga gusa kubera ko izina ryavuzwe muri 76 rigahora ari iryo akarinda no nta wundi bazamuye inyuma ye bikwiye guhera hasi abana ariko noneho the culture the environment bifite ndetse bakava no muri ibi ubu nabo bashobora kujya gukina umupira babanza bakajya mu biyobyabwenge cyangwa mu biki byose ni ibintu abantu bakwiriye ibyo nimushaka ko dukorana nanjye nkagira uruhare nkabafashamo muzampamagare nzabikora ariko noti ibi bintu by'akajagari biri mu marozi biri mu nzanguro biri mu yitwaye ntabwo ibyo nabijya munsi nahagaritse no kujya ntabwo nzajya n'amafaranga ngo nshyire mu bintu bijyamo ahangaha sibyo
Excellency nari mbigendeye ko ikipe y'igihugu y'u Rwanda iherutse kwitwara neza muri imikino ya FIFA Series yari yabereye inaha Rayon Sport iherutse gutwara igikombe cya Sekafa nacyo cyabereye aha numvaga bitanga icyizere kandi nari nabonye mwatangiye no kugaruka kuri stade
ndagaruka ariko nkataha nk'ubu uravuga ibyo ngibyo iby'amakipe tuvuga ariko ikipe y'igihugu se bivugaho iki ntabwo bikwiye guhera kurangirira aha ndavuga umupira w'ayo makipe uzamuka neza ariko ukagera no ku gihugu n'igihugu kikagaragaraho cyifata neza impamvu byo bitaba ni ukubera iki
haracyarimo byinshi byo gukosora
harimo byinshi tugomba tubikosore two kubinyura iruhande tubikosora uko bikwiye naho jyewe umupira rwose ibyo birahari biri garantide ariko ariko mbona bindenze nkisubira inyuma nkajya kwikorera ibindi
akoze nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika nari mfite ikindi kibazo abantu bari muri media ndetse n'aba content creators dukomeje kugorwa n'ikibazo cy'imbuga nkoranyambaga zitari monetized ubushize mwari mwagitanzeho umurongo nyakubahwa perezida
sinzi aho cyahereye yuko twagishinze na minisita bijyanye bya ICT byahereye hari icyo bakoze hari wabazi niba hari progress arubize okay ariko tuzongere tugerageze dukurikirane turebe we take note of that ariko ndibuka ko mwakivuze twanakivuzeho ndetse abantu basezeranya ko bazakoresha inzego zibishinzwe hakagira igikorwa ariko ubu niba nta cyabaye tuzabikurikirana turebe.
Thank you, sir.
There's somebody who kept putting up each 800, somebody else who, yes.
Hello, Mr. President. Thank you so much for letting us to be here as content creator. My name is Abdel Basit. I'm from Morocco, and I'm so happy to be here. The question that I want to ask you, and it comes from my followers from Morocco and from some other countries, that's it. What the challenges that Rwanda get to be clean as that match? Because I really surprising for the things that I see, and you are doing a great job, and I hope the best for Rwanda, and I will visit again, inshallah.
Yeah, most welcome. But it's a choice again, as you said. We try. This has been, and it's not only Kigali, by the way. Even efforts in rural areas are being made to fund clean environment. These are some of the things I said. And I kept asking, in our own discussions, knowing, all of you here, people in Rwanda, they have homes they come from, the homesteads and so on. And I used to give an example for a homestead to look or to be kept clean. Does it require foreign aid? Do you need foreign aid to clean yourself or to clean a home or environment? So, so we raised it to the level, we said, yeah, even our country, much as we are not a wealthy country, if we raise it from that concept of a home to the country, people taking care of the environment, we ask ourselves, does the country need foreign aid to keep itself clean? We said, no, we can actually clean it up ourselves, irrespective of our economic status. And that's how it started. Yes, in the first year, it was a bit difficult, people just saying, no, why they tell me to do this? We kept going. And I made sure I would show up myself to do some cleaning. And maybe some people said, well, but if the president can go there, why not me? And so they started coming. And then later on, they saw the benefits, because if the environment is clean, it benefits those who live in that environment. So one thing led to another, and so on and so forth. So it's just because we decided to do it, and anybody can decide to do it, anybody can achieve it. And so it's one of the things. And look, as a country, as a small country like Rwanda, again, it's our discussion, we keep having it as a discussion among ourselves. We have a bigger task for people to notice and be associated with us. You see what I mean? So we try to do something that will be visible, and by that we shall be visible as well. There are people who don't have to go through that to be visible, because of what they have, because of their size, because of the... So, but it's like, even let's say in the concept of fighting corruption. If Rwanda, a small country like ours, is known for corruption, who will come to you? They even ignore you. They not notice this small country that is corrupt. They look the other way and go somewhere else. You don't represent anything to them. So we make sure that, let's avoid this thing, that we take attention away from us because of how negative it is. Yes, so we cannot afford to be known for corruption because it will destroy us. Yes, we are coming from a very small place already, and then you do that bad thing, you disappear. For me, I'm not one of those who want to disappear. No, I want to be here and seen and for what I am. So that's just giving you a little bit of history and where it comes from. Yeah.
Thank you, Excellency.
Maybe somebody else there.
There's a lady here.
One or two.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Amazina ni Njoki, ndi Munya Kenya, but I live in Rwanda. And I've been here for 4 years, and one of the main questions I get as a Kenyan living in Rwanda from my fellow Kenyans, Gen Zs, is how does Rwanda actually do it? How do they able to have governance that actually works for its people? So as we're headed into elections, what would be the advice that you would give to Gen Zs on how to filter through the noise and actually pick people that will end up working for our benefits and putting our interests first? And my second question is a personal one.
That's too much.
No, it's just a request.
Okay. When it came to elections, I don't want the people's attention and start advising. But I get your point.
Yes. And if I could, because I'm a content creator and I interview people, I would like to request sit down. It's just like 2 minutes max. Whenever you have the time. Thank you.
One day we should come to that. Maybe before you go back to Kenya.
I'm here.
Yes, for the first one, really, I mean, when it is elections, it is politics, it is sometimes hot everywhere. Yeah, the most important thing is for any country, most important thing is stability. Whatever you want to do, you want to do it towards stability. 2, you want to do it for the improvement of society and so on and so forth. Even governance, politics being part of governance, you want to do politics that will deliver stability and progress. And for the citizens of any country, therefore, when, like in your case, people who have a voice through one channel or the other, when you want to say things, or do things, you do that in a certain way that contributes. You first calculate, is it going to deliver stability that we want? Is it going to improve the politics to deliver that? Is it going to contribute in any way to the progress the country should be made? So it's a bit tricky, it's broad, it's sometimes amorphous, it has no shape, it has no, but it's around those elements that people have to think along. Yeah, and for the interview and so on, a discussion, I think my people can see some sitting behind you, you get close to them and you can make an arrangement. I'll be available.
Thank you, Excellency.
Then the other 2, maybe quickly.
The lady right there? Yes.
Your Excellency, thank you for giving us this opportunity. My name is Roxane Ludwig. I am content creator and I come from Côte d'Ivoire. My question is, Mr. President, how do you plan to ensure that the presence of young people in spaces like this go beyond being symbolic and that they can actually have a say in the decision?
Sorry?
Yeah?
There are things I missed, what you are saying. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, I can repeat. Yeah. Mr. President, how do you plan to ensure that the presence of young people in spaces like this goes beyond being symbolic and that they can actually have a say in the decision shaping Africa's future?
Well, it's really not, at least I will say, yes, I have a role to play, but it's not, I'm not the only one to have to shape that. By this I mean even the young people, by the way. You don't have to be told what you will do to shape your future. Sometimes you initiate it, you think about it, you raise the voice, talk about it. So it's not the president, it's not the minister, and here it's somebody else to make sure. All of us make a contribution. We bear in mind all that for all our actions. We are saying, yes, how about the future? How about the young people? What role will they play? How can they be supported to do that? But even if we did it the best way, without the young people themselves showing up and, trying it either with this support or not, then nothing much happens. I'm therefore trying to flip the whole argument that the young people have actually a much bigger role to ensure that is the case. Yes, you ensure by the way you behave, the way you work together, the way you develop, but also by way of raising this issue with anywhere where you can raise it so that you are heard and people hear you and factor this in what they intend to do or what they are planning to do. Yeah.
Thank you, Excellency.
There's somebody who was sitting next to her.
Jadot?
Quickly, we can take it. Then there was one person there. I saw the arm there. One arm.
Please go ahead.
Murakoze nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika, nitwa Bagishya Jean de Dieu, mvuye kuri BNB FM. Nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika, mu myaka 32 ishize u Rwanda rubohowe, politiki y'uburezi kuri bose irimo guha u Rwanda urubyiruko rushoboye kandi rushobotse. Ariko nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika, hari ikibazo cyo guterwa inkunga imishinga y'urubyiruko kuyihuza n'ikintu bita risk assessment cyo muri za banki n'ibigo by'imari byagoranye. Ibyo bigatuma imishinga y'urubyiruko itabona igishoro, bakaza ku isoko ry'umurimo hano iwacu mu Rwanda bahanze amaso leta, kandi isoko ry'umurimo rya leta ntabwo ryahaza urubyiruko dufite. Turahuza gute imishinga myiza y'urubyiruko rwatojwe kandi rwize neza, ndetse naho rugomba gukura inkunga na cyane cyane ko bava mu ishuri nta gishoro bafite? Murakoze.
Ibyo byose birahari, ibyo byaratekerejwe, barabiganirwa, ni ikibazo gihora kivugwa. Nubwo cyaba ari ikibazo gihari, ni ikibazo gihari mu buryo bw'imikorere mibi cyangwa se bw'ibintu bidahagije. Abantu basubira inyuma rero bagashaka uko ese bituruka kuki haba hari abantu bangana gutya batabona ubufasha kandi hari uburyo bukwiye kuba bafashwa. Tugashaka iyo mpamvu tukayikemura. Naho ubundi nibwira ko byashyizweho, uburyo bwashyizweho, hari bamwe actually babibonyemo inkunga. Wenda kumva ko hari igitekerezo cyiza umuntu yagize cy'imikorere ariko akabura ubufasha, kiramutse gihari cyiza nyine ni ikibazo. Abantu mujye mwegera inzego zibishinzwe, zimwe zitagombye kunyura ahandi kure mu biganire, ndetse bishobora no kuzamuka bikagera hejuru niba hari kesi runaka abantu baba bazi yari ikenewe gufashwa, yashobora gufashwa ariko ntifashwe.
Thank you, Excellency. We'll take the last
Maybe the last one there.
Yes, sir. Darina?
Your Excellency, my name is Kaimba Darina, and I am a Rwandan content creator. And first and foremost, I would like, this is more of an appreciation. And as a Rwandan content creator, of course. So I truly appreciate your leadership and the transformation Rwanda continues to experience. And as a young creative, we are inspired by the direction our country is taking, and we are grateful for the opportunities to contribute and tell our stories and be part of Rwanda's future. And I've also created actually a short film about you, and inshallah, you will actually get to witness it. So that was it.
I want to be able to see it.
Yes, inshallah.
Okay.
Thank you, Excellency.
So keep doing the best you can, and let's keep helping each other. And what the government can do, will do. What you can do for yourselves, and you should do. Don't go absent when you could do a lot for yourself. And if we can be of any support, I think it's a question of structuring it and organization, and I think we can help more people than are being helped, maybe, if we approach it the right way. So asante sana.
Thank you, Excellency. Wish you a good evening.
Right.
Ikiganiro rero cyahuzaga nyakubahwa perezida wa repubulika Paul Kagame n'abanyamakuru kikaba kiganye ku